Oh yeah. What's up, guys and gals? This is a little test. Testing the SciTech broadcasting system. We're gonna see how this goes. I'd like to be able to stream this on the website, so kind of giving it a shot here. Basically, I'm going to go over some science and technology knowledge. I don't know if I'm streaming on Twitch, but I know I'm streaming on YouTube, so that's good. However, I can't seem to find the live alerts and stuff. Let's see here. Whoa. Kill that. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're on Twitch or anything. This is what we're listening to right now. Let's go and investigate some stuff real quick. We're going to start with best Arduino projects. Go to news. Learn to build robots and drones. Arduino and Raspberry Pi. Probably more Raspberry Pi than Arduino. Arduino boards and the Raspberry Pi have taken the DIY computing world by storm, allowing users to create wildly inventive, this is a link, oh, maybe it's not, projects while learning. Many of you can probably relate to this. Programming and electronic building skills. If you're just looking to get into the world of microcontroller boards, though, it can be a little daunting to know where to start. You don't usually start a sentence with an and, but I won't get too hypercritical on this stuff. And even if you've been a DIY scene for a while, there's always more to learn. You never stop learning, hopefully. Look at this ad. Let's kill this thing. So I get the gist of it. Totally targeting to me. Marketing. So, yeah, this is just a test of the SciTech broadcasting systems. 6 minutes in, and let's see if we can find a way on this other monitor I have here where I can actually look at and disable the preview, but I can't look at what's going on. That's unfortunate. I need to be able to, like, chat would be good too. Come on now. This broadcast is brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer. That's right, I'm having a few drinks. I'm not gonna lie. No need to. I'm a very transparent person. The whole idea behind SciTech Syndicate is to collaborate with a lot of like-minded scientific people, nerds, geeks, creators, makers, to develop stuff that will help society in a positive way. I have a personal vision and skill set and goal to create hydrogen fusion. Yes, I'm a balding person. It's okay. I'm completely fine with that. I'm actually really hot right now, so I probably don't even need that. I'll just leave that off. But usually I have a hat on to keep my head warm. That makes sense. But like I was saying, I have some experience in hydrodynamic, I guess it would be hydrodynamic electromagneto fluid dynamics. Is very complicated, I guess. The best way to explain it would be electrical discharges in a fluid medium. That's kind of what I've spent the past 4 or 5 years working on. Before that, I was doing a lot of pulse motors and electrical systems and understanding that stuff. I have a whole bunch of science-y electrical engineering equipment over that way. But I haven't been able to do a lot of my experiments lately because they got a little too dangerous. I can't do any Tesla experiments. I was doing a lot of that too, high voltage experiments. I live in an apartment right now. It's not very safe to do. But let's see here. I really dislike how this kind of works here. All right. Zero watching, which is what I expect, but I will leave this up and other people can see it. Might as well put that up there. This is useless. Okay. So let's go into some deeper stuff. I don't think we'll be able to find it here, but let's go into fusion technology. Let's read some of this. And before I do that, look at mod tools, preferences, timers, command modules. I'm still trying to figure out the Streamlabs stuff. It's kind of new to me. Like, I played around with Streamlabs back in the day before they had their own platform, but now it's a lot different. So try to keep my posture good too. I'm over on this other monitor over here. You guys can't see. Widgets, dashboards, and stream. I have a. Hey, it looks like I have one viewer. That's probably me, though. Yes, that's me. Perhaps. If it's not, then say hello. And hello. Just trying to sort out this stuff before I start shouting out to my SciTech community on Instagram. Let's see if we can drum up a very intellectual conversation about science and technology. Let's see though, I can't seem to find a way. There we go. Found it. There we go. All right, now I can see it. All right. Cool. So, nuclear fusion is halfway good enough. Why don't we go to my website and we'll take a little look, see at... Oh, promotion. Buy something from my store. This is actually a cup I designed myself that for all you electrical engineering. Oh yeah, see here, I can go like this. There you go. Terrible. Yes, babe. Hi, I'm live right now.
Are you serious?
Yes, letting you know. What's up?
Are you recording?
I am recording.
You're not?
I am recording.
Don't record, 'cause I'm like getting a picture.
But there's a green screen, so you're cool. Oh, but that's not showing up very well. I need a better green screen, I think. Come on now. Vanna White it. Oh, it's because there's green on it. That's why. It's the green. The green's not showing up. Oh, yeah. So, let's go to read more. See how blogs. Okay. That's, no. There we go. It's a good discussion to have here. Top 5 alternative energy sources and power systems. So we'll blaze through this top part because it's pretty much self-explanatory. Hydroelectric power systems, wind, biomass power systems is really important. I put this at 3 because it's something that's very underutilized. Using organic matter, using trash, if we were to take if we don't eat a whole bunch of processed foods and we eat more raw and organic foods, all of that byproduct, and including our poop, which is something that's kind of a little bit crazy, but also agricultural poop, chicken, cow, whatever animals that we're creating, are not creating, but encouraging to grow and helping them grow. Using a biomass system is very, very beneficial. It could be a very good way to create energy via methane, using biodigesters and stuff of that nature. But the only caveat is we'd have to revert back to more of a steam-based system. But if you think about coal and using natural gas and coal, it's the same principle. So why aren't we using this more? Well, it's kind of comes down to the cost for investment, which is the bigger problem. It's a social problem. I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm sure I'll talk about that a lot more because this is kind of a reoccurring talk that I have all the time. And if somebody has something to say to disprove what I'm saying, then I'd be completely open to that. I like being proved wrong because then I learn something, right? But the idea is that you can't really create a power system if you don't get a return on your investment. This is a business mindset. So if you have an investment, a certain amount of capital that you invest into an energy system, if you're not going to get the power back in a relatively short period of time, let's say 5-10 years, it's really not lucrative for you to do that investment. So that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem in our social dynamic right now. And if you have any, that was another computer in the background. If you have any rebuttals to that, I'm more than willing to hear what you have to say. So anyways, on to number 4. solar arrays, obviously very powerful technology. It's a little dirty to make, but it has a very long lifespan if it's treated well. So very important. This is all on SciTech Syndicate's website for alternative energies. And there's also geothermal, so places that have geothermal activity. Hawaii is like the counterpart to Iceland. Iceland has devoted a lot of their time into geothermal activity and has actually been able to create a lot of energy. Actually, I think they're completely self-sustainable from their geothermal and from maybe a couple other energy sources, but it really is a powerful technology that we should be utilizing more, I think. So those are my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Let's see if we can go to chat here, if there's any chat. Nope. No chat. It's fine though. There we go. Get rid of this here. So, geothermal. And this wall, God, my camera blurs out so much. It's decent, but it blurs out quite a bit. Get rid of this down here. Okay. And of course there is the nuclear fission power, which, as we know, can create some serious problems long term. And it's also incredibly inefficient. If you have researched fission, it's very, very inefficient. It's amazing that we are able to unlock the power of, decay, radioactive decay, but we can't unlock it. We don't unlock it very well. It's very sporadic. Fission is something that is still not very well understood. We like to think, oh yeah, we've got it all figured out, but really, if you think about it, in the span of less than 100 years, we've been doing nuclear fission, so it developed very quickly, and there's also other alternatives that we could essentially do. Looks like a dog is calling me to take him outside, but we're going to get through this real quick. So hydrogen power systems. So this is something that I explore quite a bit. I have explored quite a bit. Now this is more along the lines of electrochemical hydrogen power, and there's many different types of hydrogen power systems, but the biggest one is a hydrogen storage system and being able to unlock it after that. I won't go into this video. So then we're going to the exotic energy sources. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. The exotic energy sources. So, obviously we have tidal and wave power systems. I say this is exotic because it's not being used, and it's like a sports car, so you have to really maintain it. You can build these systems up front, but the cost to keep them running with, like, for example, the ocean water beating the crap out of it is quite tremendous. I mean, and you're not going to, the power that it creates, you're not going to get a very good return on investment. If you do your research, you really start to understand that the amount of power that it creates, the cost of the power is very low for setting it up, and overall it will create a tremendous amount of power for the cost that you set up, but there's no way to really get a return on your investment because the power is so cheap, if that makes sense. It's kind of a catch-22. It's really unfortunate. And then there's also heat engine generators, which are in the same echelon, which you can set them up for a couple of grand, like $3,000, right? You can set up a heat system for an individualized business. I guess that's another aspect to it, is that these would have to be a distributed network of power systems. You can't really set up a large scale version of this. It just won't work very well. I mean, you could if you did like a passive solar reflectors onto a boiler system that created a turbine like this, but it's still not. It's not a very efficient way to go. And so as far as your cost put into the amount of payment you get out over time, because like I said, the energy cost is so cheap that overall it would take you like 20 years to get your investment back, and that's just not something that most businesses or business-minded people want to do. So I won't go too much into the details of that. You guys can go into SciTech and read some of that stuff. Let's see what's another one. Thermoelectric generators. The potential difference between hot and cold. That's kind of ties into the same thing as a heat engine generator. It's the same principle. But we're talking about on the, I guess it would be the nanoscale, not the nanoscale, it would be the quantum realm of thermoelectric generation, and creating different substrates that have, the Peltier effect, or the what is it? I'm sure it says it somewhere. The Seaman effect. Oh, that's not right at all. That's disgusting. Oh my God, I can't even think of what it's called. Someone out there is yelling at me. How dare you? How dare you say it's the Seaman effect? Because that sounds really naughty. It's totally not the Seaman effect, but it's something similar. I can't think of it right now. Honestly, I can't think of the actual name of it, but somebody out there knows. Is probably shaking their head. But you know what's funny about saying the Seaman effect is that it's funny and dirty, and I'm not afraid to be a little funny and dirty. So fusion technology. Now this is getting in deep to kind of what I am fixated on, I guess, my passion. And so right now, one of the biggest ways to unlock fusion is, and people say that it's always 20 years away, right? And it has been for a while, using hot fusion. And I'll give some Easter eggs, I guess. I'll give some ideas of where I'm going with this technology myself in my own personal experiments and what I have done. But hot fusion is basically taking a gas, which is randomly dispersed particles that are very far apart. That's what a gas kind of is, right? And trying to confine it and forcefully push it together, right? So very far apart space material, trying to force together. Now, if you look in nature and you look at the stars, nature tells us that that's not really what's going on. If you pay attention, it has more to do with condensed matter physics and electrical filaments throughout the universe. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to get too deep into my philosophy and my theories on fusion technology. But I think that's kind of our hindrance right now. And honestly, there's probably people who know a lot more. And there's always somebody who knows a lot more than you. You know, it's just in some aspect. But the beauty of SciTech Syndicate, the idea of it is that people will come together and build a community of open-sourced engineers and scientists. You know, I've been in many groups who've tried to do this, and it's a very difficult thing to do, to bring like-minded people together to build something that is beyond just monetary gain and beyond all that kind of stuff. So I won't get too deep into all this stuff, but you know, you can go into SciTech Syndicate and look at the alternative energy blog and see, you know, the different types of fusion reactors that have existed. And then of course there's the cosmic energy collectors, something else that I have some experience in, and Tesla patents and doing a lot of different Tesla research. I have a lot of friends that still do a lot of Tesla research, and there's absolutely, without a doubt, from my experience, Tesla was onto something where he could create an energy power grid wirelessly throughout the whole world. But now, as we have our system set up, this is in complete honesty, now that we have our system set up, it wouldn't work. We'd have to redesign, because we'd have to create the power waves as being carrier waves, and then the they would carry the informational waves, the data waves on them, and that's something that we'd have to redesign. Because now, if we tried to do Tesla's system, it would be these huge power waves that would just screw up every system. I mean, we would create, EMPs and some devices. I mean, it is designed on pulses in a way through the Earth's core and through the ionosphere's capacitance. But we would create, we would destroy a lot of electronics. Let's just put it that way. We would create a lot of noise, and many electrical engineers would probably argue the fact and disagree. But I think many radio engineers would agree with me and understand that waveguide principles, and that if you have a large enough antenna and you put them and you disperse them around the world properly, and you transmitted large amounts of power through the Earth and connected to the ionosphere, you'd make a potential difference, and you could be able to tap that. But obviously I don't know all the nitty-gritty details. That's a lot of experimentation and a lot of calculations that I'm unable to do, because it's a very large-scale system. I don't think that it's something that we can do now, honestly. That's just my personal opinion, unless governments get involved and they're like, yeah, we want to, make power open for everybody, or power free for everybody, and there's too much invested and at stake now to do that. And that sounds, conspiracy theory-esque, but the way I look at it is vested interest. So understanding, vested interest, like people would lose a lot of money, and that's not what people want to do. So somehow I missed the thorium reactors. That's another really good one to go over. I don't know where that disappeared to, but let's see if we can find it here. Thought it was under exotic energy, but maybe it's not. So thorium reactors, there's another type of fission possibility. Let's see, type of fission, like graphite, molten. Oh, here we go, right there. Molten salt reactor, exotic energy. It's a thorium reactor. So if we go to this, a thorium-based nuclear power is based upon thorium. It doesn't have the radioactive decay as uranium-233 fission does, and the saltwater reactors do. Now, I do think this is absolutely possible, but once again, there's no military grade uranium as a byproduct, or plutonium, but uranium is really what we're talking about. That's going to make a nuclear weapon afterwards, because that's kind of what the enrichment process does, as well as there's no cost interest. Like, it's the same thing. You would have to put in a lot of money to build one of these, and your return on investment is extremely long term, and that's usually the problem with making energy systems. So that's why you notice that government implementation in Germany, Iceland, like I talked about earlier, a lot of other countries, they'll actually use government incentivized programs, because they know that there's not going to be a return on investment in the business, but they care more about the environment than they do about the business. So that's kind of when government overreach is a good thing. It's healthy, in my personal opinion. I mean, I don't, you can say what you want, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyways, this has just been a 30-minute run through of kind of this live stream, and checking some stuff out. Let's see what here, and I got to take a dog out, so I think I'll probably end it now. But I appreciate everybody who watches this in the future. I know nobody's really watching it right now, and it's totally understandable. It's very late at night, so anybody who'd be watching it would be watching it in another country. But I appreciate everybody out there. This is a product I've sourced from the US, Spain, and Russia, and yeah, I think that's it. And might be Germany too. Let's see. I think it's just US, Spain, and Russia. So if you have an AirPod, that's a cool thing. And then obviously I have a bunch of, I don't know if it's so obvious, but I have a bunch of my own branded stuff that I'm working on. If you have any ideas of different designs that you'd like to see, let me know. Send me an email, send me any link whatsoever, and I'll design it for you. I do know graphic design, and I'm trying to build a brand that I'm not trying. I will. I'm building a brand that will help fund my research and development into hydrogen fusion, and that's the whole purpose behind SciTech Syndicate. So I appreciate all of you guys watching, and until next time, peace out. Wait, there it is. Peace out. Peace.